going on, Brewer Media Group? It's your girl, Zainab K here. And today we have the lovely Allison Pryor from the Tennessee Aquarium. And you already know it's always fun when she comes through. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Of course, excited to hear about this wonderful news. Okay, I'm not going to spill the beans, but you could tell the people because we've been waiting almost all summer.
Yeah, no, I feel like I've been talking to you for the past 2 interviews about penguin nesting season ongoing, and now I happily get to say in this interview in July that, yes, we do have a penguin chick. So, yay! We have one single penguin chick for this nesting season. It's a little baby Gentoo penguin, and we are so excited about it. It's a little over a month old right now. We wait a few weeks before we make an announcement because you just want to make sure that the chick is okay and everything. But it's been visible to the public. So if people have visited the aquarium over the past month or so, they've already been able to see it in the Penguins Rock exhibit. If you haven't come yet, let me tell you where to look. So when you come to the Tennessee Aquarium and you go to the Penguins Rock exhibit, you want to look on the far right end. There are some acrylic panels that are up around the nest. So that's acting as protection. We kind of can call that like a little bit of a playpen for the little penguin chick. And so just look in there. You'll probably see Bigfoot, the dad, and the chick. It has grown significantly over the past month, so it's no longer fit in your hand size, but it's grown a good bit. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not good at measurements. I'm trying to do a viewpoint for you, but it still has those fluffy down feathers right now, so you're going to notice that it is fluffy and cute, and it's developing this little belly, which is super cute when you think about a chick. And so if you want to see the penguin, I would really recommend over the next week or two to come to the aquarium because it will continue to grow. And by the time we reach mid-August, it'll have its adult feathers and ready to leave the nest.
Oh, my goodness. So would it be considered a real adult by August? Or still like a teen, maybe?
Yeah, maybe like a teen. It'll have its adult feathers. It'll be able to leave the nest to swim in Penguins Rock, be able to eat on its own, but maybe not quite as mature as some of the other penguins that are in there. So I think that teenage analogy is a good one.
Now, have you guys thought of a name yet? Because the parents have some interesting... Bigfoot
is the dad. Bigfoot has been a phenomenal dad through this whole process. Carla is the mom. And so what we do for our penguin names is we'll auction that off as a fundraiser in the fall. And if you hear me saying it's because we don't actually know if it's a boy or a girl yet. So penguins, you can't tell easily just by their physical appearance if it's a male or a female. We actually have to do a blood test to figure that out. And so there's no reason to prick a little baby bird anytime sooner. All of our penguins go through an annual physical in the fall. So we'll do the blood test then. So then that way we'll know the gender, we'll have a gender reveal, and then the person who buys that auction item for naming the penguin will be able to pick out a name, and then hence we'll announce it to everybody.
Well, I'm already going to put my bid in for Cookie right now.
Ooh, I like Cookie.
Just because of its color. I don't know. It just came to me. So Cookie, we're putting that in there as an option for you.
I like it.
Okay. Okay, now that we have the new penguin, congratulations to you all, by the way. But of course, you guys also have some cool events. One specific one, the Fish and Sips event coming up. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, it is Saturday, July 19th. This is our adults only after hours event, so it's 21 and up. And as the name implies, Fish and Sips. We partner with local and regional breweries. So when you purchase a ticket, your money from that ticket is going to go for a fabulous evening, but it also goes to the aquarium as a fundraiser for our nonprofit causes of conservation and education. So with that ticket, you get to come from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. You get to get 10 samples that are 4 ounces in size of beer. We're going to have small bites, Coca-Cola products that are complimentary. You also get included this cute little tote bag that has the Fish and Sips logo on it, and then also a bucket hat. So the bucket hat's reversible. I think it's a big time favorite when you think about it being summertime, want some little shade. You get the bucket hat. You get to tour both of the buildings. We're going to have live music out in the pavilion outside. So it's really going to be a fun and festive event for adults. Again, that's Saturday, July 19th. We have about 1/3 of the tickets left. We sold about 2/3. We have about 1/3 left. So if you're kind of pondering it, just go ahead and hop onto our website and you can get those.
I love the after hours, visitation. I went once, and I don't know if you guys will have this again this year, but they had like a bracelet making table, and I went over there. Me and my homegirl were there. It was really cool. So you guys come on out and have some fun. Nice. If you're looking to get away from the kids, this would be a nice opportunity. Date night, friend night, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. This is great for that.
It really is. And I think that that's the key when you say date night or friend night. It can be one of those things of, hey, maybe you have kids and you're looking for something to do as a date. You can come here. Mm-hmm. Or if you don't have kids, but you don't want to tour the aquarium when there's a bunch of kids that are running around, this is also great for you, where you can come with your significant other, come with some of your friends, hang out, and know that it'll be adults only that are there.
Yes. Okay. And in addition to that wonderful event coming up, I hear you guys have some updates to the Rivers of World Gallery.
Yeah, that's right. We have 3 species that we have updated their exhibits. So one is the African shell dweller cichlids, which are little fish that live inside of shells. And so you're going to kind of see them doing a little peekaboo, coming in and out of some shells. One of our big favorites, which we've already had in the Rivers of the World Gallery, are Vietnamese mossy frogs. Okay. They're getting a larger exhibit. The mossy frogs, if you have not stopped and looked at them before, are amazing. They are so good at camouflage. They blend into the trees and the plants that are inside of their exhibit. So a lot of people love stopping there and kind of doing a competition with who they're with and try to count them and see how many that they can see. We also have Sicilians, which are they can look like they are like a snake or maybe an eel, but they're more closely related to salamanders but don't have legs. So you're also going to be able to see those in the Rivers of the World Gallery. So some fun updates with that. And we've also brought back daily scheduled programs, which is perfect for summertime when you have so many families that are visiting the Tennessee Aquarium. Our diver chats, which have just been on the weekends, are now going to be every day. So during the week as well. Twice a day, we're going to have keeper chats in our butterfly garden, where you get to talk to our entomologist, and a lot of times she's going to be doing butterfly releases, so you're going to see that happening. Penguins Rock, which is at our Penguins Rock exhibit. You'll be able to hear from our animal care specialists there, see them feeding the penguins twice a day. We have education in our Delta country, talking to you about the swamp and some neat facts about that. So all of those signs and times are posted on site when you come and visit the aquarium, and you can kind of time out as you move through the buildings for that.
Yes, I was going to ask, like, when you come in, specifically, it's a time limit when you come in. So for either one of those things, is it just as you come in, you want to pass by, or if you wanted to go to a specific one, can you have a time slot, or is there a time slot for people to just come to say, hey, at 9, this is what's going on, I want to just come to this?
Yes, I think you can finagle it that way. So when our tickets for the Tennessee Aquarium are timed entry. So if you get a 9 a.m. time, we open at 10 a.m. most days, 9 a.m. on the weekends. But if you have a 10 a.m. time, so that you're coming in, you can look at the board that is posted. Your ticket, even though it's for 10 a.m., you can take a lunch break in the middle and come back in the afternoon. So if you wanted to come to, say, the penguin feeding that's at 3 p.m., you got there at 10 a.m., you toured the buildings, you went and saw an IMAX movie, you got lunch, you can still use that ticket to come back into the building and just go specifically to the penguins and watch that if you want to.
Okay. Yes, because I was like, sometimes you just want to go straight to the thing.
Right. And so there is that flexibility that for the timed entry, you can come later than the time, but not earlier. So we're trying to kind of space people out through the day.
Okay. And then you guys are over there trying to steal my job. There's a podcast, new podcast. Well, not new, but it's been a year.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So if you guys didn't know, the aquarium has a podcast. It's called the Tennessee Aquarium's official podcast, right? And it's turning 1.
So it debuted July 10th of 2024. It's called the Podcast Aquatic. It's hosted by Casey Phillips, and it's really amazing that you get to hear from our experts in-house at the Tennessee Aquarium. If you love animals, if you love fish, the environment, this is the podcast for you.
Yes.
You're going to hear about what happens at the aquarium, what some of those animal care specialists are doing, the aquarists. You're going to hear from our Conservation Institute scientists of the work that they're doing in the field and the efforts that are happening there to protect endangered fish. Plus, he'll interview people that are outside of the aquarium, whether it's for an IMAX film that we have coming up or maybe a partner at a different zoo and aquarium. So it's really amazing to hear all of those different stories.
Okay.
And with that 1-year anniversary, we're also now partnering with the Tennessee Conservationist, which is the official magazine of Tennessee State Parks. And so they're being our sponsor of the podcast. And it's amazing to kind of have that duo of both the Tennessee Aquarium and the Tennessee Conservationist, who we're all passionate about nature, especially what happens in the Southeast for our local areas. Hence the River Journey building and freshwater focus that we have at the Tennessee Aquarium. And so I think that for people to be able to listen to that podcast, hopefully you're going to be entertained. You're going to learn some new things, maybe be inspired of what you can do outside in nature, and even decide to come visit the Tennessee Aquarium.
Now, will we get any animal drama, like something between the penguins, not the fishes mostly, but the otters, you know, the other ones?
The little drama. Sometimes
yes,
you do get to hear a little bit about the background stuff that happens. We have a recent episode that's out about the penguins and the lemurs and the otters. And so that's a great one to listen to. Speaking of the penguin drama, we even had, if you follow social media, we have a series that's been running this nesting season called Penguins Rock. And so for that, it's Love on the Rocks. And so for that, it's kind of that play on Bachelor in Paradise, other kind of love TV shows, but with penguins. And so that's been fun for people to follow along with.
Can you give us a little snip, like a little detail, a little exclusive, like what's going on in the Love on the Rocks series?
Well, we had one of our couples this year that had been a long-standing couple. They split up and switch partners.
Ooh,
so that so that was an episode of Love on the Rocks of talking about that switch there. And of course, I've said this before, the stealing of the rocks early on with the building of the nest. That's explained in Love on the Rocks, how that works. So you get to learn a little bit more about the penguin behavior.
Are they like, when that happens, is it like, oh my gosh, you stole my lady, you stole my man? Or are they just like, oh, this is how we move. That's fine. I'll find another, person to mate with, or another fish,
another bird, another bird
to mate with.
There can be a little bit of drama. Penguins can be loud, and so they'll vocalize things and make noise, which you may not be able to hear as well when you're outside of the gallery as a guest. But if you're inside there, it is quite loud, and they can also sort of peck at each other too.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm interested in a little bit of that, just for some fun.
Yeah.
But speaking of the penguins now, earlier on, a few interviews back, you said that you guys had 4 eggs. Now we've only had 1 that hatched. So what happens to those other ones?
So when we have the whole penguin nesting season, it is a long process of penguins starting to collect the rocks, build nests, then they pair off. Then it's watching, okay, do we have the potential for eggs? Okay, now we're starting to have eggs that are laid. And so there were 4 that we were really watching that we thought may be viable eggs. We don't know, though, for sure. We can't tell if the egg is going to be fertilized so that there could be a chick inside of it.
Okay.
We don't know if a penguin is going to be able to sit on it consistently so it stays warm. You think about chickens having to sit on their eggs. That exhibit is usually about 45 degrees. Those eggs have to be incubated. If both parents are getting up and jumping in the water or eating, that leaves that egg for potentially being vulnerable. So not every egg that is laid ends up hatching. And so since we don't know if there is a chick that's growing inside of that egg, it becomes almost like a wait and see game. And so The time period of incubation is about 40 days. Once it hits that 40-day mark and a couple of days after that, if an egg has not hatched, if there's not been a little chick that's trying to peep out through that egg, then we know that it probably wasn't a viable fertile egg to begin with. So there's a little bit of the wait and see, even though we are in a controlled environment at the Tennessee Aquarium. It's still a natural process for these penguins. And so not everything is going to result in a penguin chick.
Okay. Well, we're glad with this potential cookie here that has hatched. And I'm so happy that we have that. Of course, happy for this Fish and Sips event that is coming up, as well as this podcast. Okay, I'll have to take a listen and get into the drama, and you guys as well, all right? So thank you, Allison, for coming by, sharing this information, and we'll be sure to come by. You guys get your tickets. As she said, there are like a quarter of the tickets left.
About a third,
About a third of the tickets that are left. So you guys could get all of that information about the Fish and Sips event, about the penguin, how to come see that, and the other special summer programs that they have going on at tnaqua.org. Okay, once again, that website is tnaqua.org. Thank you so much, Allison.
Thank you.
And I hope you have a wonderful day. Chattanooga, you guys know what to do. Make sure you go to that website, tnaqua.org, again, and stay up to date with everything happening at the aquarium. I will check in with you later. It's your girl, Zainab K, here with Brewer Media Group.